Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I think a lot of people don't understand the potential value that Bitcoin ETFs and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, could bring to the space, so I explained why the cryptocurrency market is currently experiencing explosive growth in this video. We'll also talk about the LNR terrorists report, which suggests that the SEC may delay these actions. Stay with me while I tell you if I think she's right or not. The most recent news and the rippling SEC complaint are two more topics I really want to cover in this video. Recently, Fred, the risk bully, tweeted his emotions. Gentlemen, why hasn't anyone said anything about this case? Fred, the settlement is discussed by Russ Bully. You will definitely be interested in hearing this. Alright, I'll start this video by quickly going over something that someone just brought up to me. Playing softly in the background while I speak, since it's really an effort to leverage the Lightning Network. Many Bitcoin miners will tell you that XRP is unneeded, all you need is the Lightning Network. That's why I'm sharing this with you, but we have seen the Lightning Network fail miserably during the past few months. The Lightning Network will never be a viable solution, according to many Bitcoin enthusiasts. Due to its poor success rate, pre-funding restrictions, and near-total centralization. Observe this payment as it attempts to transit the Lightning Network at this very moment. There was a time when XRP transactions took a fraction of a second to complete around the world on the XRP ledger, but now it takes 10 times as long, and that's on top of everything else going on the layer. At the present time, we have been trying to submit a Lightning payment for almost a minute now, but nothing has happened. I thought you guys might be interested to know that despite many Bitcoin miners claiming that the Lightning Network is an improved version of XRP, the transaction still hasn't finished after a full minute. Is this something you've ever encountered when trying to send WAI to RP? Because XRP has inherent capabilities that Bitcoin lacks, the answer is obviously no. At this very moment. When transferring funds internationally, XRP is the blockchain to use, and that is just the way things are. Bitcoin miners are frantically attempting to build the narrative that Bitcoin will miraculously scale to achieve XRP's capabilities, only with more efficiency. The problem is that it is utterly failing right now. In XRP, I have a great deal of trust. For this reason, it is possible to move money from A to B. No matter what, a blockchain will be necessary. And XRP is the best blockchain, in my view, to make this happen. After giving it some thought, I've come to the conclusion that Bitcoin will forever serve as a valuable store of value. Also, some people will keep using it to launder money around the world. But a lot of people act like Bitcoin is just as powerful as XRP. Furthermore, we have repeatedly shown that this is completely false. I thought that would be a good thing to tell you. Mostly because I'm aware that the Bitcoin Maximus can make convincing arguments, and they're good at making it seem like the Lightning Network can do everything XRP can. But we've seen time and time again that they're wrong. If you listen to the Bitcoin community, you'll see that most people know that Lightning Network can't compare to XRP, but they still want to spread the myth that Bitcoin isn't just a money-making scheme. It's really that easy, you guys, but I want to stress that XRP will never be obsolete. Also, the claim that Bitcoin can do things that XRP can't is completely false. After giving it some thought, I'm ready to move on to the next topic, an update on the Ripple SEC case. Could you please tell me when we last heard anything new regarding this case? For quite some time, we have been kept in the dark. Since Red Dress Bully tweeted earlier today, there hasn't been much progress in the Ripple SEC case. I'm not the only one who has been wondering when we will hear anything about this case next year. Gents. To remain silent. By February 12th, the damage discovery connection must be completed. In my view, the SEC discovery updates ought to have been filed a week or two before deadline, considering how antagonistic the action has been thus far. If that isn't the case, then Ripple and the SEC are on good terms. Very nice. The only possible consequences that I can envision at the moment are one or two. One possibility is that the parties will come to an agreement after the SEC has reviewed the request for discovery and any other things that have been prolonged due to damages and briefings. This process might conclude on April 29 and lead to a decision in early summer. The SEC stands to lose almost all of its goals in that situation. Is it really prepared to risk yet another major setback, considering the amount of ongoing legal challenges? It appears that the dates we should be monitoring going forward are February 12th and April 29th, which is kind of intriguing, guys, especially in the summertime. Essentially, the level of discovery that the SAIC plans to pursue in this specific case will soon be apparent. As a reminder for those who aren't current. In this case, selling $700 million worth of Ripple tokens to institutions is essentially the only remaining option. The SEC was victorious. Based on the judge's ruling, the SEC should have been notified of the registration of these XRP institution sales since they were securities. Nonetheless, the SEC claims that this is the reason Ripple should owe them $700 million. But Ripple will claim that we were never required to record those purchases with you because they were never made in the US. This means you have no authority over them. The SEC also needs proof that the institutional investors who bought XRP made a loss. The bulk of these organizations, as far as we can tell, were early adopters of XRP, and its value has skyrocketed since then. It seems that very few of the transactions the SEC is presently pursuing in this matter actually fall under its jurisdiction, so what did the SFC gain from being able to call some of the Ripple sales securities offers? This is the core difficulty for the SFC. Listen up, folks, the SEC has a huge problem on their hands, because the matter is still ongoing and not within their jurisdiction. Actually, they can't do anything about it. Guys, the SEC needs to win. And Freegis Bully is bringing this up because he thinks there's a potential that Ripple and the SEC may actually reach a settlement. The SEC has lost their XRP status and will continue to lose money if this lawsuit drags on. In the Bitcoin spot ETF, the charges against Brad and Chris were unsuccessful. And man, these institutional transactions are going to cost them a pretty penny if they can't settle. Here's the latest update on the case, guys. The future is a mystery to me. On the other hand, I think it's possible that the SEC and Ripple are communicating behind closed doors, because we haven't seen any back and forth during this discovery phase. So far, it seems that predicting a settlement in this case was wrong. Even if it hasn't been successful yet, the SEC desperately needs this triumph. Settlement is their sole option for achieving a win in this case. Finally, I'd like to conclude up this video by explaining why I think the market is inflating right now and going over the Bitcoin spot ETF. According to a tweet by Eleanor Taran earlier today, the SRC has the option to delay the launch of the Bitcoin spot ETF, depending on the Commission's voting behavior. My guess is that the SEC will make sure this doesn't go to waste. As for when the Bitcoin spot ETFs will go live for trading, all the big asset managers are predicting this week's approval. You guys know that these groups have been communicating with the SEC, nearly all of them have said it publicly. Their strategy for issuing the spot ETF and dealing with the SEC is a daily topic of discussion. It is my suspicion that it will be implemented this week, assuming such is their expectation for its execution. Those talks with the SEC might already have taken place. In addition, I do not believe that we have yet arrived to a point when the results of the voting process are still up in the air. Consequently, I do not anticipate any postponement of this endeavor, despite the fact that Eleanor Tara has only recently stated this on Twitter. I think a Fox News reporter wouldn't be as knowledgeable as BlackRock, and LNR gets zero exposure. Her performance was outstanding. Because of their obvious involvement, the only thing that comes to mind is that these parties are working together with the SEC to officially announce that these events will take place this week. Their perspectives are rather more weighted in my opinion. Guys, also, the fact that Bitcoin is currently experiencing explosive growth is a result of people's sincere belief that this will transpire. That probability is being reflected in the market as well. Since many are asking, Michael, is Bitcoin really going to increase in value? I thought it would be a good time to talk about how monumental this is going to be. Is it already included in the price? If the forecasts from the Standard Charter are to be believed, Bitcoin's value will reach $250,000 by 2025, with incoming capital flowing into the market valued at $50 to $100 billion. This information was shared in a note earlier today. It is not priced in at all ounces if these are the kinds of flows. Investors' financial advisors will start recommending cryptocurrencies as a potential investment vehicle for their clients in the near future. No amount of guesswork can account for the $50 to $100 billion that pour into this market every year. These inflows must happen. What you are seeing in this market is a complete and utter change. As a result, the motivations behind financial advisors' competitiveness defy speculation. Its goal is to sell its clients an unlimited amount of Bitcoin. If our estimate of $50 to $100 billion is accurate, we will be able to drive up the price of cryptocurrencies. Thus we are keeping an eye on the institutions that are backing our efforts. How much further this thing can go in the coming year is anybody's guess. If that's the case, I think the price is fair, but I also think this is just the beginning. In addition, I think these products will have far more demand than what these companies are projecting. I trust you found this update to be entertaining. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.